Yeah, my name's Mark Aldridge.
I'm Gray Robert Brown.
And together we create the podcast at the Swinging Christies, which is all about Agatha Christie in the 1960s.
So today's spring gathering is all about sort of having a special celebration and the unveiling of the new statue. You must be quite pleased to be here.
I'm thrilled. I love
Absolutely.
Torquay, and we were both saying yesterday when we came down that we both independently had the same thought of how nice it is to come to Torquay, and it's like a lovely safe space for us where we can indulge in our Agatha Christie love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. It's sort of gone from Devon generally. It's gone from the place of sort of childhood family holidays to this amazing kind of Christie beacon that we get to visit every year. It's such a joy. It's a privilege.
Yeah, because I'm from Devon originally, so I used to come back to see my family anyway. But even as a child, I used to come to Torquay, and I even remember the 1990 exhibition when I was very young.
Here,
right
in the
here.
Torquay
Yes,
Museum.
yes, in Torquay Museum. It's one of my sort of strong memories of Agatha Christie is going and seeing those exhibits and seeing photos of things I hadn't seen before and all sorts.
Yeah.
So tell us about your talk today and what you're focusing on and what are the sort of points you want to get across about what you care about Christie.
So we're calling it The Swinging Christies, the story so far. And that's because we are not done yet in terms of our exploration of this fascinating decade in a fascinating woman's long life. We think that it's a period of time that is both incredibly interesting and lesser spoken about in relation to Christie. So we've done this deep dive in this area where, people should talk about more, in the books from that period that people should talk about more and know more about. So it's a bit of a whistle-stop tour, isn't it?
It
through
is,
those
yeah.
books and that period.
Because we've broken things down by topic. So each episode discusses a different topic. So we're going to summarize what we found out about things like sex and drugs and rock and roll. Obviously, it's the 1960s, but all the way through to things like empire and all sorts of things that perhaps people don't immediately think of, but are definitely present there in Agatha Christie's works, especially in the 1960s.
Yeah.
Because I think most people think of Agatha as somebody who was a fairly conventional person. And the 60s was obviously a time of massive change, huge social change. How do you think that did actually affect her worldview? Or do you think it didn't? It was more just about the settings and the contexts?
Definitely affected her. So one of the big things about the 1960s is that the world changes so much, but it had all the way through Agatha Christie's life. So she's always writing contemporary novels. If you read A Murder is Announced from 1950, it is very clearly post-Second World War. Like that's sort of the whole point of it. The way that the characters interact in the world is post-Second World War. In the 60s, she just keeps running with that. And I think if you watch adaptations, it often gets taken away because it gets taken into sort of a slightly homogenized 1930s, 40s world. Whereas we really wanted to remind people that she was writing in the 60s about the 1960s.
Yeah, we called the endeavour, us working together, Christie time, because you'd found in a reference in a play. I can't remember which play it was.
Yeah, it's the play of A Murder is Announced that she didn't write, but someone adapted in the late 1970s. And right at the beginning, when it sets the scene, it says set in Christie time. And that irritated me so much because there is no such thing as Christie time.
Yeah.
Christie time is when she was writing. A Murder is Announced is 1950. And it's so frustrating that people think that she wrote in this never, never time, this never, never world. She understood the world and she knew what was going on.
Yeah, relentlessly read the newspapers, kept abreast with everything, and was really a really smart and plugged in person. So yeah, that's the fight that we fight.
Finally, from each of you, really, just I suppose the role that Agatha plays in your heart and your mind, in your lives generally.
Agatha Christie's everywhere now, and it's so lovely, and it's so often the case that I get, photos from friends or messages friends say, I was in this shop in Thailand or whatever, and I look at these Agatha Christie's I found, and it's so lovely, and it's such a warm community as well, which you don't get with all fandoms, but for Agatha Christie, she seems to really attract the nice people, which is good.
Yes, fortunate for us. I second that completely. I mean, some friendships that have been forged, including ours. my family relationships. It's all, you can trace so much of it back to Agatha Christie, and we're really grateful for that.
Yeah.